Welcome to the third Solarpunk Cities video about Singapore, the city in a garden. Singapore is a living example of how dense urban life, nature and technology can evolve together. This is the story of how Singapore became a Solarpunk icon. In fact, Singapore's green vision began long before the word Solarpunk ever existed. In the 1960s, rapid economic growth and urbanisation brought prosperity. But also, it brought pollution, congestion and environmental strain. Singapore's government realised that survival on a resource-scarce island required disciplined planning and environmental foresight, and that treating nature as an afterthought would be a mistake. Indeed, it was realised that survival on the small island would depend on balance. Sustainability was embedded into national development through decades-long strategies, integrating housing, transport, water management and green spaces into a coherent system. This continuity of vision, planning and implementation laid the foundation for Singapore's transformation into a dense yet highly livable city, where environmental resilience became a core element of national policy. In Singapore, gardens have become vital infrastructure. Nowhere is this philosophy more visible than at the Gardens by the Bay. Over time, parks, gardens and nature reserves have been woven directly into the urban fabric. Today, more than 40% of Singapore is dedicated to green spaces. In the Gardens by the Bay, Singapore's super trees rise from reclaimed land. These super trees are beautiful architectural features. They collect rainwater, generate solar power and provide shade and cooling. Elevated walkways between super trees connect nature and architecture, reminding visitors that infrastructure can also be alive. This fusion of beauty, ecology and technology is pure Solarpunk, grounded in reality. For Singapore, its source of energy remains a challenge. With no rivers for hydropower and limited land for renewables, Singapore has had to innovate. In 2002, the government set a bold goal to generate 350 megawatts of solar power by 2020. Not only was this target met, it was surpassed. Singapore began installing solar panels on rooftops, industrial zones and even water surfaces. Floating photovoltaic systems cross reservoirs, reducing land use while producing clean energy. One such installation, with 122,000 solar panels alone, adds 60 megawatts of solar capacity to the grid, equivalent to the electricity demand of 16,000 households. Sustainability in Singapore extends far beyond energy. It's also about designing a walkable future. Urban planning follows a simple but powerful idea. Cities should be walkable, bikeable, and human-scaled. Cycling paths reduce reliance on cars. Streets prioritise pedestrians, and an efficient public transport system ties everything together. The mass rapid transit system serves as the backbone of daily life. It reduces traffic congestion, cuts emissions and keeps the city breathable. Sustainability here is not a lifestyle choice. It is built into everyday movement. Architecture also has been quietly revolutionised, and green buildings are now the new standard. Singapore's Green Mark certification programme encourages developers to construct smart buildings, using energy-efficient lighting, rainwater harvesting, solar integration and natural ventilation. What began as an incentive has become a new normal. By the end of 2021, nearly 55% of Singapore's buildings had achieved Green Mark certification, with a national goal of 80% by 2030. Green buildings in Singapore are not experimental prototypes. They're real workplaces, homes, schools and airports. Dual Changi Airport's rain vortex The world's tallest indoor waterfall demonstrates how spectacle and sustainability can coexist. Looking ahead, Singapore has set an ambitious goal: net zero carbon emissions by 2050. To achieve this, solar capacity will scale dramatically, potentially reaching over 8 gigawatts by mid-century. Singapore unveiled its national hydrogen strategy, committing to increase its use of green hydrogen as a key low-carbon energy source. In 2025, Singapore joined a regional vision for offshore wind collaboration, exploring how abundant offshore wind power from neighbours could feed clean electricity and green hydrogen into its energy mix. And citizens are encouraged to adopt more sustainable lifestyles, from reducing waste to embracing public transit. To summarise, here are Singapore's key Solarpunk elements. First, nature is a vital part of Singapore's urban fabric. Parks, gardens and nature reserves have been woven directly into the city, truly earning Singapore the title City in a Garden. Second, living infrastructure projects like Gardens by the Bay and Super Trees combine ecology, aesthetics and function, producing energy, managing water and cooling the city. Third, Singapore has implemented renewable energy sources. Rooftop and floating solar installations turn limited space into productive energy infrastructure. And fourth, sustainability. Low carbon urban designs, walkable neighbourhoods, cycling paths, efficient public transport and green building standards make sustainability part of everyday life. Featuring so many Solarpunk attributes, Singapore is truly iconic. From green infrastructure, rainwater harvesting and solar energy to walkable neighbourhoods, public transport and resilient systems, Singapore is a living proof that sustainable futures are built through vision, long-term planning, implementation and care. You can find more on the Solarpunk Cities website and can subscribe to the Solarpunk Cities newsletters. So join the Solarpunk movement and let's make the world better. Thanks for watching and join us on solarpunkcities.com.